Hey guys, here with another episode of Trainer Confidential. How you doing tonight, Donnie?
Doing all right, man. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. This is my wife Jackie, by the way. If you guys haven't seen her or don't know her, that's Jackie. She's going to be doing the Tangy Classic coming up in 8 weeks. Uh,
Bikini. No,
yeah,
actually,
so
wellness.
her
Wellness.
first show. We also got another friend of ours, Chase, that he just finally said he wants to do one, and he's got a lot of promise in him. So it's going to be exciting to see. But today we're here to talk about the Emerald Cup. My last show. Well, my last show and our other friend's show, because he also did the show. So we're going to talk about results about that. First thing I wanted to touch on though is Olympia's Instagram, Olympia LLC's Instagram. So they put a post up. It's gone now, so I mean you can find pictures of it. But basically, they were saying failures or promises, and they had a picture of Ian Villiers, James Hollinstead, Antoine Valaint, and Steve Cooklow. And well, that caused a lot of heat. A lot of people didn't like that. It was a pretty mean thing to say. I don't know if they really meant it like that, but at any rate, they took that down immediately, and they went up for an apology, I think today, about that, putting them on the spot. So that happened, and that was kind of I can't imagine somebody did that with any ill intent, but it was definitely taken that way. So, that's the actual Olympia Instagram. So, anyway, there's that. So let's talk about the Emerald. What'd you think about it, Donnie?
Well, like the Emerald Cups prior, it didn't disappoint. I mean, and I think the person that capped it off was Hunter when he guest posed and he spoke afterwards and he says, I've been to guest appearances and shows all over the place, and this is probably one of the best shows I've ever been to. And everybody that comes to guest pose, because sometimes Seattle seems like it would be off the grid, you know what I mean? Maybe even in terms of bodybuilding and stuff, but when they come here and they see it, everybody's really pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, Ribic does a good job.
Yeah, and it didn't disappoint. And we got this changing of the guard right now because the Craigs I think they pretty much actually given it up. Okay, and the Riddicks are the ones actually running it now. It is Ribic production right now. But of course, the Craigs are still actively involved in it, but they're not running the show now. They're not calling the shots. The Riddicks are. So yeah, so we've had this almost this flawless transition of ownership, stewardship, and it's going to be in great hands. The athletes, and it's one of the reasons why it's probably one of the bigger regional shows in the country. Most of the athletes brought great conditioning, especially in your classes. A lot of these guys are really on point. And this is why, when you go to like the Masters Nationals, some of these other places, you hear, from Olympia, Washington, or from, Bellevue, Washington, Emerald Cup winners, Emerald Cup contenders, you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really prestigious show.
Yeah, it is. And I enjoy it. That's the second time I've done it. Yeah, and I really enjoy going over there. I like going on stage anyway. It's just something about it.
And they really take care of you.
They do, yeah.
They take care of you. I mean, I've been to shows where they don't take care of you as much. But
just see how many supplements I went home with.
Yeah, they really make it a pretty enjoyable experience for the athletes and stuff. And it was fairly deep this time. The all across the board, all the call outs, the people that were there that won their classes and stuff. I mean, they looked like they could go to the next level. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely some people in your etiquette that definitely they're ready for the next level, and you're getting pretty close. So it's just a great show.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit before we get into my results about the guest posers. So we had Hunter Labrada and we had Stuart. What is his last name? Stuart Sutherland.
Yes.
Now Stuart,
local boy.
Local boy, yes. Now my first show was the Vancouver, and I remember vividly watching Stuart walk in.
Yes.
He walked in and was like, "Oh, show's over." I mean, this guy, he was just that good, and he just rolls right in there. He wins the overall, and then goes from there to the Emerald Cup. He was super heavy at Vancouver. Now he wasn't chiseled and shredded, but he was big enough to where it didn't matter.
Right.
So then, however long later, a couple months later or whatever, Emerald Cup, he came in at heavyweight.
Right, he sucked down the heavy.
Now he won the overall at the Emerald Cup, and then from that year he went and did the USA, won that, got his pro card, and then I think he did Tampa or something like that, or something like that afterwards. Got like 7th, but I mean the guy made pro in a year. And he was back this year to guest pose. So I want to bring up some pictures of him and Hunter with their guest posing. Which Hunter, he's doing the Tampa Pro coming up. So
okay,
which is what? That's about like 14 weeks out or something.
Something I don't know exactly when it is. No, I don't know when it is.
Looking pretty good for that time period.
Right.
Okay, here we go. So there's Stuart right there. At the Emerald doing his guest posing. I thought he's a great poser.
Yeah.
The hair could he's got some wild hair, but he was a great poser. He put on a good show. There's a picture of him next to Hunter here. Now look at the size of him compared to Hunter. He's bigger than Hunter is. Now he's not as chiseled as Hunter is. I mean, Hunter's got better arms and stuff like that. But I mean, he's good.
The conditioning's pretty close.
Yeah, it is pretty close
actually.
And actually, I'd say that Stuart's legs are better than Hunter's. But I mean, this is a guy that just got his pro card, and Hunter's been in the game for a while, so it's pretty impressive. And Hunter was impressive up there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, they both came out in the audience and got pictures with people and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So there was that. So that was pretty cool. Next thing I'm going to go to the scorecards for my events. So I did classic bodybuilding Masters 40 and classic bodybuilding Masters 40 and classic Masters 40. I placed 3rd in both of them. Which was a tough lineup. I mean, the top 3 we were all pretty similar.
Yeah, it was you 3, and then it was everybody else.
Yeah, and it really was. But when you look at the scorecards here, it kind of says it all where everybody was at. So here's a classic right here. You see, so Monty Rogers, he got 1st, and Daniel Hughes got 2nd.
So you were unanimous 3rd.
Yeah, unanimous 3rd. And I mean, and pretty much Monty and Daniel were too, except for one judge, looks like. So then we go down
looks like 5 points separated the 3 of you.
Yep, that's what. Yeah, it was 5 points. We'll go down to the bodybuilding, and Monty got a perfect score. Let's see here. And that's the guy who's probably going to be going to Masters Nationals.
Yeah, he's going to be going to Masters. I asked one of his trainers, hey, look, what did he weigh in at? He weighed in at 89.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So he is going to go then.
Yeah. More like he'll go. Yeah. He'll bring that. If he brings that level of conditioning, he'll get his pro card.
Yeah. Because he just did the Empire too, not too long ago.
As a matter of fact, I think they changed it to National. You get your pro card if you win your class. He doesn't.
Is that right?
Yeah, it used to be like for 40-year-olds. I think they gave out like four pro cards. But now it's to the point to where if you win your class, you get your pro card, and that's just going to bring out even more folks.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm going to ultimately be. Hopefully, maybe next year. I was going to try this year, but it's probably a little too early right now. Got to recover. I have some other plans. First, I need to take down that Emerald before I go there, I think. So once I do that and I pull first on Emerald, then I will be going to Masters after that. So here's men's bodybuilding 40s right here. and I got 3s all the way across the board. Daniel got 2s all the way across the board, and Monty got 1s all the way across the board. So we were, yeah, it was pretty clear
Yeah.
from that. Now I didn't get to really see much of the guy backstage because you're standing next to him, and
Right.
when I'm
Right.
backstage, I really don't look at people much because it doesn't matter at that point. I'm kind of focused on what I'm doing. But then I was able after my class because they did open classes too, so we were able to sit down and watch him. And yeah, he definitely had me. He had me, and he had me. So there's no doubt about that. So there was that. I got
But
a
you're not
couple
far
picks.
off, though, guy.
No, not far off, not at all. And I kind of figured out a trick that I want to throw by you too. I think we talked about it a little bit, but I noticed something that was odd. But first I want to go in. I posted some pictures of myself. This is so I had the first day obviously was Friday was classic. And then the next day was bodybuilding. So I had to, it was a long weekend. So I believe this picture was Friday night, I think, that I posted these. Which when the pictures come out, we will definitely post those, the actual show pictures. But
So you're filling out still, though.
Yeah, I'm still filling out at this point. Yeah, I'm not full at this point. This is just, yeah, this is not my complete look here. But yeah, somehow Friday I came in looking pretty good. Friday I looked better. You know.
Do we have any picks from that lineup?
No, I don't. I gotta wait to get the pictures from Mark Mason.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually they take about a week and you get your Mark Mason picks.
Okay.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna show pics from the show. These are just pics in the motel room. There's crappy lighting in there, but but yeah, I did pretty good on the lean out. That's for sure. I completely dried out. So I had all that down. I mean, I gave 100% on this one. I don't really know anything I could have done differently. So it's just that, those two guys were better at me in that point, and that's just it. And that happens. So, but you pick yourself up and you keep going until you win it. So that's the way it works. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think overall?
You talking about the show or your performance?
Yeah, the show, the competitors. Because we had Sunday was the natural event too, which
right, and that
I never caught that kid's
debut.
name, but the guy that won the overall on that, he was looking pretty good. The guy with the braids.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, he was the only he stood out in front of everybody. I mean, you looked at him, you're like, yeah, he's gonna win. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he would have placed in the
in the open.
Right, in the open
Yeah,
instead of the natural. He would have at least broken top 5 easy.
I agree. Yeah, and he was a light heavy, right?
No, I think he was a middle. I think he was. Yes, he was a light heavy. He was a light heavy.
He sure didn't look like a light heavy, but
yeah, he was a light heavy.
His frame was filled out pretty good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So leading up to this show, we do the basics, the peak week, kind of carb deplete, and then we load up. I loaded up for 3 days. Carb load for 3 days. I lowered my sodium quite a bit during those days, and then carb load clean. I ate pretty clean for the first the first day really, 2 days actually. It was just all I did. It was just cream of rice and pasta, and that was about it. So some grape juice and carb powder. So that was the first 2 days. The second day, I had a burger that night after I weighed in and everything. I weighed in at 219.6 on stage at that point. Now, that was before dropping the water. Now, after I dropped the water, that was a different story. But yeah, so it's 219.6. Let's see here. Had a burger that night and some fries, not a big one because I wanted to keep my stomach empty. I probably could have handled more, but came in looking pretty good that morning, right? You think?
Yeah.
Friday morning.
So. Yeah.
Now Friday after pre-judge and after finals, I had some pizza, and just continued to eat. And the next day, I just woke up. I woke up pretty shredded. more than I was the day before. So,
Yeah, do you have pics from that?
I
You
don't
guys
know.
take any pics,
I think
like
we
in the
might
room
have
or
some.
anything like that?
I think we do have some on both of our phones. I mean, I
Okay,
got pictures the whole time, but I don't have
all
them
right.
on here yet.
Yeah, I'll have to
Uh,
check them out one of these days.
but yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that because I want to show before and after flat versus full and stuff like that. Because I
Right.
took pics. I took pics the whole day I was loading up. I mean, every
Mhm.
about 3 hours, and I wrote everything down. I like to have a log. I put on my log. I ate pasta, 2 cups of pasta at this time, and I weighed in
Mhm.
at this, and blah blah blah.
Okay.
So that way I know what I started off at that morning before I start carb loading, what I ended up that night, what I lost through the night,
Yep.
so forth. So I have a
Yeah.
log and pictures to go along with all that. I think when we get the Mark Mason pictures, we'll probably put those up at the same time. Probably it'd be a good idea.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, so that all worked great. I thought, but the cool thing about these shows, I learned something each time on
Right.
what I could do differently.
Right.
And one thing I learned was a carb powder. I that little bit of carb powder, a little bit of water right about when you're about 3 divisions behind and you're getting up in the line and start pumping up that carb powder. Hit that carb powder, and I put some salt packets in it, and then I put some EAAs in it just to get the blood, some citrulline and stuff like that to get the blood flow. Because I think my blood was kind of thick at that point. I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
So to get that out, and it worked pretty good. Now, what I was talking about earlier with like Monty, what I'm pretty sure he did was he put that warming oil on, is what he did.
Hot stuff.
Yeah, I never knew about that because I know when
Yeah,
I get out,
I use it.
man, when I get out of a tanning booth, I mean, you know the look when you get out of it, you look insane when you get out of a tanning booth. So it was like he got that same look because I looked at him at one point, and he didn't look like a threat at all. Next thing I knew, I looked back there and he's just vascular, ever veins popping out, and it's like, what the hell did this guy do?
Yeah.
Well, his coach was putting that
Hot
oil on.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot stuff.
So that's definitely something I'm going to try. If that gave me just that much little of an edge, that could have made a difference. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
and the leaner you are, the better.
yeah, yeah.
The leaner
So
you are, the better, the more effective it is. The leaner you are. Yeah.
if you're not lean, it probably wouldn't work very well either, would it?
It won't. It won't. It won't.
You got to have that thin skin and everything.
Yeah, you want that skin to be very, 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 very thin. I'm gonna be doing it at my show in Riverside.
Yeah. What is there a specific product that you use, or
Um, I use hot stuff. That's what
it's
it's
called
called.
hot
Hot
stuff?
stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna order some of that and try it out like right now, and just to see what it looks like.
Hmm.
But I didn't know about that. I know
It's
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 always
it's it's very similar to what we used to do in the 70s. We used to take niacin tablets.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, hit acid,
Uh-huh.
and it makes you really, really, really vascular.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, it does. Huh.
makes it flushes the skin out, makes you vascular. But in some cases, if you take too much, you'll start itching. So sometimes you'll
Yeah.
know who took it and stuff because they'll be on stage, like.
So people don't do that as much probably anymore, huh?
No, they don't do niacin that much anymore. So yeah, hot stuff is the replacement.
Huh. Yeah, I gotta check in on that one. But at any rate, it was a good show. I'm happy with my placing. There's really nothing I don't think I could have done any different. I hit my cardio. I didn't ever miss any cardio. I never missed a meal. I never, I mean, there's a lot of nights I had to stay up till midnight just to get my meals in because of work and everything else, and I did it every
Yeah,
time. When you're in prep like that, it's early mornings and late nights, period.
yeah.
And
Either it's one or the other or both. Sometimes it's both.
yeah, and you gotta just keep on going. I mean, you that way in the end, if you don't get your placing that you want, then it's not because I skipped cardio that one day, or I didn't I missed a meal, or whatever your screw up was, because now you have that to blame. If you didn't have that to blame, then you did the best you could, and it's just that simple. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is my 4th show actually, so I mean that's pretty good for your 4th show. I'm happy with my
Yeah,
placing.
I think we can really do some damage in the next one here.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we were talking a little bit about what the goals are for the end of the year for myself and stuff, and you know my work schedule and stuff is hectic, and I have to do a lot of manual labor and stuff, which hinders, it hinders my
It
bodybuilding
does. It really
big
does.
time. And so we're working on that, getting better employees and stuff like that to work, so I don't have to do all that stuff, and I can get, because at the point that I am right now, I have to add more calories, and I already have so many calories already that,
Right. Right.
I'd just be sitting eating in my truck all day long is what I'd be doing, and I can't do that and make money, and so and unfortunately, I got to go out and make money to be able to supply money so I can do my hobby as
Right.
bodybuilding. So that being said, how do we fix that? How we fix that is we fix that by getting better workers and getting more of I go bid jobs, I look at jobs, I be a manager basically, and
Because
any
I tell you, that's why I'm able to do what I can do. That's why I'm able to do it as effectively as I can. It's because I've got a staff of 20 people that takes care of all that stuff for me and stuff. So I just leverage through them,
yeah
and and definitely that needs to be the case with you and stuff, where you
yeah.
can leverage your crew and have them do that stuff for you and stuff, and and you
Yeah.
got time to do other things.
I mean, as it is though, this last year I put on quite a bit of mass. I mean, I think I weighed in at the last show at last Emerald Cup. I think I was 213 or something like that when I weighed in.
Mm-hmm.
I weighed in at 219.6. So I
Mm-hmm.
stayed lean all year round, and and I gained mass. But how much more could I have gained if I hadn't have to expend so many calories during the
Right.
off season? I mean,
Yeah. Just yeah.
that's the question. So that's what we got to figure out, and that's what I'm going to figure out this year.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my goals, I have something in the back of my mind telling me I want to do the Tangi Classic. I haven't really said yes to that yet. My wife's going to do it, and now my friend Chase is going to do it. So maybe I should do it too. But that'll be something. My main priority is Emerald Cup, obviously at this point. So we'll have to see where that goes. But that could be in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 weeks away. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm ready right now. So there's not much more I have to do to stay on diet and keep doing what I'm doing really.
Yep.
But yeah, at any rate, maybe if I do it, try to get some momentum or something. But I still got the drive, and anyway, that drive don't go away. You want something, you go grab it. And if you don't get it the
Pretty
first time, you
much.
grab it the second time. You
Pretty
don't give up.
much. Once you get locked on and stuff, I mean, it's on.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. So this is what we love to do, and we're not going to stop. So now let me ask you, how is your prep going?
It's going pretty good. As a matter of fact, so I would so the time that I was at the Emerald Cup, I went completely off script. I just my deal was just to stay. I just went keto. I mean, and I managed to stay on track. I've been in prep for 4 weeks prior to the Emerald Cup, and I was fairly light this time. I'm right around about the 230-ish, but I think I started at 222, 223. And when I got to the Emerald Cup, I was probably about 215, 214. And then I didn't weigh in or anything, but I weighed in this morning and I was 209.8. So,
Wow.
and it's just that, to me, that was just so. But now I'm back on my diet again, and I'll see how much I weigh tomorrow and stuff. I'm back on the diet that I'm at the point before I left for the Emerald Cup. That's the diet I did. All my starches and stuff are gone right now. My avocado's gone. It's almost protein and veggies right now. I still have some fats in my diet, but everything else is good. Now, I just started night cardio today, and I did legs today. So I felt that.
Yeah.
I really felt that in my legs, because step meal is that's my poison of choice.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, it's when you do morning cardio and then you train legs, and then you're gonna turn around and do evening cardio. And me, I do intervals, hits and sustains. So, but yeah, it was pretty. I got my butt handed to me, and that's going to happen quite a few more times.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It
How
is
many
what it
minutes
is.
total are you at right now?
So I'm doing I do an hour in the morning, I do 20 minutes at night, and then and the night cardio I'll increase it 10 minutes depending on how I'm coming down, So yeah, you know.
Right.
But right now so far it's I'm just so used to, I've been doing this for so long consistently. I think about the past 10 years, it's just to go from one phase to the next, from the off season phase to the prep phase. It's, you know,
Ain't nothing.
not that much to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's life. That's it. If
And
you
and
didn't do that, something would be off.
right. And the thing with the training, I mean, you're so you're dragging so badly, and you wonder how you're even going to get started, but somehow you manage to get through the
Yeah.
work out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You just,
Exactly.
yeah. But prior to that, it's like, am I really going to do this?
Yeah.
You end up doing it, and it's fine.
Yeah, that's totally how it is too. You ask yourself, how in the hell am I going to do this today? And then just light turns on, you do it. Then
Yep,
when you're
and you
done,
do it.
you're done. But you
You
did
do
it.
it. Yes.
Yeah, that's totally how it goes. This time for me, this prep for me was it starts getting rough for me 4 weeks out. Last 2 weeks was hell for me, my energy levels and stuff. But oddly enough, my strength never went down through the whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe a couple reps, but even to the last week of training,
Mhm.
I was still, pushing the weight for 10, 12 reps,
Mhm.
my normal weight and stuff. So that was kind of cool because that gets, I mean, for me, it gets a little disheartening when you watch the strength go down, but that also says to me too, that you held on to that muscle tissue,
Yeah.
if you're able to, that
Yeah.
strength means you're holding on to your muscle tissue. So you're doing
Mhm.
it right.
Mhm.
And so that's a good thing too. So, I want to give a shout out to James though. James, also, he got top 5 in the open,
Yes, he did.
and he got second in Novus, which is awesome.
And
So
and let's talk about that. I'm gonna throw
yeah,
this at you now. Okay. So now we got this novice. We got this novice guy, and he didn't win his novice class. He took second, but he placed in the top 5 in the open.
no more
Should he
novice.
go open now? Or should he stay not? I mean, I guess it would depend, But if you had to do one or the other, what would it be?
No more novice. I mean, he's top 5, right?
Yeah, he top 5. Now I can see if he did the open and let's say he placed like 7th or 8th,
Yeah,
I can say, okay, yeah, I'd say still go novice, okay,
yeah.
because but breaking the top 5 in an open class, you kind of have to. Yeah, I think I think you can probably still go both ways, but I would be more inclined to have an athlete just go open.
Open. Well, because there was like what? There was like 14 or so in his class.
Something like that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't it wasn't a small
It was,
class. They
yeah,
had
it was
really high
they had to
numbers.
break it down.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the placing 5th in that's really good. And I mean, that just made my spirits really happy. I mean, watching that
Oh, he
smile
was
on his
happy.
face and
Yeah, he was elated. My
oh
goodness.
man, he was in heaven, man, and I loved watching that. That was just, I mean, that's I live for that shit,
He
so
was
yeah,
elated.
just really proud of James, and James is
Yeah.
just getting started. It's a second show. He's just getting started. He texted me
Mhm.
today saying, "Man, it's chest day." Should be like, "Man, I really want to go do." Nope, don't do it, dude. You got to take that week off, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he's ready to go. He
But
wants to go.
they're young, I
Yeah,
mean, they're young, and he brought some hardware home.
yep,
Last time he didn't bring any hardware home,
that's right.
and he brought
2
some
pieces of
hardware,
hardware.
and he's just all fired up,
Yep, yep, yep.
you know.
World's his oyster now, man. He's so I gotta sit down and talk to him what he wants to do next as far as
Right,
shows. I think we kind of talked to him a little bit about maybe he should take a year off just to thaw out his frame more.
right.
But it's like I tell him, he's got his canvas is built. We just got to fill it out. That's it.
Yeah. He's got a good
He's
structure. I like his
yeah, he's
structure.
got good structure. He's got the V taper. He's got the wide shoulders. He's got the legs. He's got everything he needs. He just needs to fill it out. And so it's nothing but better from this point. And that's the cool thing about it. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting. He's in his 20s, so he's got, he's got a lot of time. So where will he be at when he's our age? I don't know. Might be something you have to watch out for. And same thing with Chase. He's in his early 20s. People are gonna have to watch out for that kid.
Yeah,
because they ain't gonna see him coming. So that's exciting stuff that we get to see in the near future. Watching these kids succeed and love the sport, because we love the sport, and so that's just great watching people love the sport like we do. So anyway, I try to promote it much as I can. Go do a show. If you love bodybuilding, go do a show. Figure it out. If you don't like it from then, just do something else. But if you like it, go for it. I mean, that's what keeps the sport alive anyway. So
absolutely.
But that's about it for today, unless you got something else.
I'm good, man.
All right, you guys, we will check in next week. I should actually have the photos for by next week. Actually, I think it takes a couple days or like a week or something like that. But I should have the Mark Mason's photos. We'll put up classic and bodybuilding and go through the breakdown, I guess, because there's definitely rooms for improvement on me.
There's room for improvement on everybody.
Everybody, yeah. So
everybody's got something. Trust me, guy.
And that's something you guys should do. You do a show, you buy the pictures. Don't just rely on a phone. You buy the Mark Mason pictures, because those are going to show you, it's going to be better quality, but they're going to show you what you can't see yourself. And bodybuilding is always about getting better. And so how do you get better? Well, you might not know how to get better. And without the pictures, you got to have something to compare to. So those pictures are important. I wouldn't necessarily.
I tell you what, that's on that note right there, dude, you nailed it this time. You look nothing like you did last year.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is a victory. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So just the mere fact that you can look at pictures and look at the previous shows and look at the present, and you can see the disparity between the two. You can't. Yeah, you've done that. To me, that's almost as good as a win.
That's what I'll do when I get the pictures. I'll put up the side by sides. Is what I'll do from all 4 shows I've done. The same poses. That's a good idea. I'll do that, and because I haven't really. I mean, I've looked at the last 3 shows, of course, but it's been a while. But I haven't compared them for a while, so just see where I've come up and stuff like that. I know my back's everything's come up, so. But training with you, you got your style of training, and you got it tailored to my body to grow. I don't feel like I'm lacking anywhere. Everything could be a little bit bigger, but it's just everything. It's not
right. The balance.
I'm perfectly balanced where I'm at. So, and that's from the training is what that's from. So, that's from the training. So, but at any rate, you guys have a good night. We will catch back to you next week.
Absolutely.
Donnie, you have a good night.
Thank you. Yes, you guys, both of you have a great night.